Man, after my Pixel 5 and S20 FE discussion comparison, which I'll have in the link in the description below, as well as the cards above, it really got me thinking about the Pixel 4a 5G and what device against the competition it sits against. And lo and behold, the OnePlus Nord has entered the chat. And for real, I feel this one's probably going to be an even more juicy battle than before. Now, look at it, man. Let's start this in. The Pixel 4a 5G versus the OnePlus Nord. Finesse or power, or Nord what we're expecting. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos that's posted on the channel. Now, as of this recording, the Pixel 4a 5G has been announced and is on pre-order, but yet to be released to the public for proper hands-on. And although the OnePlus Nord has been available for a while now for purchase to the public, I don't have both devices on site yet, but obviously, once I get them, man, there's going to be more follow-up content and comparisons for sure. But yeah, like I said before, man, just stick around because I still want to give my thoughts on it from the initial outside looking in on both these devices and which one I do recommend based on who you are and what you need and which one I'm kind of leaning towards more. Now, let's start off with the design, man. Let's not waste any time and get straight into it. And starting from the outside, working our way in, I feel both the Pixel 4a 5G and the OnePlus Nord are taking a slightly different approach to emulate a premium experience in their upper mid-range devices this time round. Simple and straightforward, the Pixel 4a 5G is using that sturdy single unibody polycarbonate shell with a solid plastic frame, and let me tell you, this, after what I experienced with the Pixel 4a, Google have really mastered how to make using plastic feel way more premium than it should do and what you expect. And I'm confident it's going to be pretty much no different with the 4a 5G and potentially even better than what we had on the Pixel 4a. Now, the size of the handset is based on a 6.2-inch display footprint, which I feel makes this the real Pixel 4a XL we wanted and got this year. A hardware-based fingerprint scanner at the rear and a single color that comes in just black, as Google calls it. So definitely Google are going for that simple, clean aesthetic for their upper mid-range this time round. Now, here's where the OnePlus Nord almost takes this kind of go big or go home approach to the design. At a price point where it sits, the phone is using a glass back consisting of Gorilla Glass 5 and a plastic frame, which deceptively gave the impression to a lot of people initially when using it, and they actually thought it was a metal frame. So that was actually kind of funny, and credit to OnePlus there. The footprint of the device is based on a massive 6.44-inch display with an optical in-display fingerprint scanner with two colors that you can pick, which is obviously the marble blue and the onyx gray. Now, obviously not to go too deep at this point, but although nothing beats that tactile feel and accuracy of a hardware-based fingerprint scanner, I'm probably one of only few people who actually prefers the fingerprint scanner to be at the front and not at the rear, as I feel you can register more usable fingers to it and have more chances of a consistent unlock in more situations. Overall, this is a split approach that fits both what we've come to know and expect from Google and OnePlus. So I think this one is really down to personal choice here. Now, which one I'm going to be leaning more towards? I don't know, man. I've had experience with the Pixel, so I'm probably drawn a bit more to the Pixel, but I'm eager to see, man, in this class range, using a glass premium design on the OnePlus Nord, it's a good look as well. Now, the front and center of the display, and when it comes to the display on paper, this is looking like a tough crowd for the Pixel 4a 5G, not gonna lie to you. There are some similarities, but definitely different end user experiences and approach to the display. Both have flat displays, thank goodness, with a hole punch in the display on the top left hand side, and both are using AMOLED display, thank goodness. But here's where the differences really kick in. Firstly, the size. The Pixel 4a 5G comes in at 6.2 inches display, while the OnePlus Nord has a 6.44-inch display. Secondly, there is a hole punch on the Pixel 4a 5G that has a single hole punch cutout on the top left, but the Nord has a pill-shaped cutout housing a dual selfie sensor lens combo, which we're going to get into a bit more later. Thirdly, the screen resolution. Both are using a full high definition plus resolution, but the real thing that sets them apart is the refresh rate on the display. And man, having a 90 Hertz display on an AMOLED display at this price point versus 60 Hz on the Pixel 4a 5G is a potential ace up the sleeve of the OnePlus Nord. But man, I have to say, The even more symmetrical, even look of the bezels on the 4A 5G from the Pixel, and that single hole punch definitely can draw you in to have a much more immersive display experience visually. But man, you've got to give it to OnePlus, man. Since the OnePlus 7 Pro, they've been pushing well on a solid display experience for sure. Now here it is, man, the specs and performance and the battery. And wow. This part is where the comparison and the discussion of it with the Pixel 4a 5G and the OnePlus are so much closer than any other part of the philosophy of these devices at all. Now, both are packing the Snapdragon 765G LPDDR4X RAM with 6GB of RAM on the Pixel 4a 5G and 8GB of RAM starting on the Nord, with some regions like India having a 6GB of RAM variant to choose from and 128GB of UFS 2.1 storage on both devices. Now the battery cell on the Pixel 4a 5G comes in at 3,885 mAh with support for 18-watt charging and no wireless charging support. Now let's compare that to the OnePlus Nord battery, and the battery comes in at 4,150 milliamps and support for that beast Warp Charge 30T, but again, no wireless charging as well. Now, where the Nord really stretches its legs are the fact that it comes in multiple SKUs with an upper tier model packing 12GB of RAM and 250GB of storage with additional full support for dual nano SIM slots, with the Pixel 4a 5G only using a single SIM card slot and only being available in one config, which is 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. So man, as close as the foundation specs are, you gotta say the options look mighty nice considering the price of both these devices, which is something we're gonna really touch on very soon. But there's always a but, and I always say this, there's always a but. With all those specs, OnePlus pretty much only guarantees 2 years of software support for the OnePlus Nord, whereas as we know, Google are pushing 3 years and potentially even more if the hardware holds strong and the demand is there for it. Man, this is a pure case of power versus finesse at work. And although OnePlus have a great track record of software support and updates, nothing beats the fast and day one software support direct from Google, even with touches of exclusives when it comes to the features. So yeah, man, you gotta pick your flavor and see which one tastes a little bit better. Man, camera, and you know this part is where it can really make or break the experience of any phone at any price point, whether your expectations are high or low. Google listened and finally gave us an ultra wide angle sensor lens combo at 16 megapixels with 107-degree field of view and that trusted 12.2 megapixel main sensor we've come to know and trust for their stills on the main camera, and an 8 megapixel selfie shooter as well. So yeah, simple and straight to it with the dual hardware lenses there. Now on the other hand, the OnePlus Nord hits a decent note but has some very decent question marks on the hardware side when it comes to the camera lens combo. Firstly, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens with 119-degree field of view, a 48 megapixel half-inch sensor with pixel binning tech, which pretty much nets you 12 megapixel results, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor backed with a really crispy 2 megapixel macro sensor and a 32 megapixel selfie with an 8 megapixel ultra wide selfie at 105-degree field of view. And come on, man, if you couldn't tell by my tone, then boy, you know my thoughts on these low resolution depth and macro sensors, which I just don't know, man. I really don't know. And although the field of view is decent and more than the Pixel 4a 5G, I doubt the clarity will be anything to sing home about at 8 megapixel resolution versus 16 megapixel on the Pixel 4a 5G. All is to play for when it comes to testing, but if you didn't know, then get to know, because boy, let me tell you this, Google's pixel image processing is second to none. And with new improvements to HDR, night sight portrait mode, portrait light mode, and new video stabilization modes with locked active and cinematic pan, the Google Pixel 4a 5G is taking more focus to an approach of less gimmicks and trying to make itself seem bigger than it is, which low-key is what I feel the OnePlus Nord is trying to do. Let's get to the price point, and now this is where things really take a massive shift when it comes to the comparison, so it's going to be very interesting to bring this into conclusion. Now let's check this. The Google Pixel 4a 5G in the UK comes in at £499 UK, with just one SKU of 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage in a just black color versus the OnePlus Nord that starts at £379 for the base model with 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage in the grey onyx color. And then there's an upper tier model that is £469 with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, which, check this, is £30 cheaper than the Pixel 4a 5G. This to me can really bring into question the value side of both these devices, and it really does make the OnePlus Nord in a way seem like the outright winner, drop the mic and leave. But, like I always say, there's a big but. If there's anything I've learned from my time with the Pixel 4a, from what I'm seeing this year from Google, it seems like they're taking this simple, understated, underdog, clean approach that punches well above its weight in an overall build and user experience. And also, like I said before, they're reading the room. Back to it again. Power versus finesse. Which side will you be drawn more to? And being a spec head, damn OnePlus, they brought the heat, especially with the price value. But man, Pixel, this year round, I think they found their rhythm and their pacing, so it could be not so obvious when it comes to what they're trying to do. And it could be that obvious and not so obvious sneak attack upper mid-ranger that proves to be more than the sum of the parts for sure when it comes to the Pixel 4a 5G. Whew, I'm telling you this now, yeah? This one is a heated one for sure. So let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, man. Pixel 4a 5G versus the OnePlus Nord. Which one would you pick? Which one have you got? Which one are you looking at? What's your thoughts on it, man? Let's have that discussion in the comment section below. And again, that's it for me, man. Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos that's posted on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.